apparent movement, physical movements. There is no need to open your eyes to look at your hand movement, okay? You can still use your mental eye, your bindi, to look at the rhythm of the movements. Whatever you see, that's it. Okay? That is the thing that you need to see. The rhythm is very difficult to put into words. So, as you're looking at the rhythm of the movements, can you see that your mental eye cannot help but also see the physical sensations in your hands, in your legs, as you are rubbing onto your legs? You cannot separate these two groups of scenery. It's very much like you look at the sky, you got to see the cloud. You look at the cloud, you got to see the sky. You cannot separate the cloud from the sky. Likewise, you cannot separate the movements from your physical sensations. You got to look at them together in one viewing. So please carry on stroking your leg, and then I'm going to add another group of scenery. Please take a deep breath, breathe deeply. As you are breathing deeply, your mental eyes can also manage to see your breath as well. Okay, so from now on, we are going to train our mental eye to look at these three groups of scenery all together in one viewing. Your breath, your movements, and your physical sensations. You're going to train your mental eyes to look at them in one viewing. Or you can choose to focus on the scenery that is more obvious to you. Your breath could be clear and could be not clear at times, but the rubbing of your legs can be quite clear then. So you can choose to focus on that area. But whenever that you inhale deeply, you can also see your inhalation as well. So whatever that you do, your focus point will be in the vicinity of your breath, your movements, your physical sensations. One thing that you must not do, that you should not do, is drifting along with your thoughts, daydreaming, pondering about your problems, the solution of your problem. Please try not to do it. If you happen to drift along, it's okay, but please be aware that this is happening and be brave, cut the cord, chop it off. Be strong, be decisive, cut the cord, cut it short straight away. Don't dwell on it, don't lingering, okay? Be decisive. Once you cut the cord, come straight back home, home to your breath, home to your movements, home to your physical sensations. Right, I'm going to shut up now, and then you do according to what I instruct you. Your mental eye is the subject. You are using the subject, your bindi, looking at the object. I'm going to ask you questions, and then if you, and I require for you to answer as well. This in Thai they call Sop Arom. Just try to find out exactly whether you understand what you are doing, and to find your experience in there, whether you are on the right track or not. Sop Arom. So the first question that I'm going to ask you, I'd like to know whether you can separate the subject from the object clearly. Is your experience very clear to you? I'd like to hear the answer, yes, if it is clear to you, okay? It's very important that you can separate the mental eyes, the egg yolk, from the egg white. The egg white are your breath, your movements, your physical sensations. So I want to make sure that your practice at this stage is correct. But you are the one who have to tell me. So my question is that, is your experience very clear to yourself that the subject is your mental eyes, and you are using your subject to look at the object? Is it very clear in your practice? If it is clear in your practice, I'd like you to shout back to me, say yes. When I say 1, 2, 3, you just say yes, okay? So please have a look again. The subject is looking at the objects. If it's clear, say yes. 1, 2, 3.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, one more time, okay, if you are not quite prepared. If it is very clear to you, just shout out loud, yes, that kind of thing. Now look again. 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Very good. Is there anyone that is not very clear? You can also shout no. 1, 2, 3. No. Maybe if you want, let me know anyway. It's okay. Right, you can ask me later. Just keep on, really focus on what I say, okay? And then engage into the practice, because we are using the language of the inner experience. Right, stop stroking and then look at your breath and your physical sensations, the tingling sensations. So taking 2 pills, the white pill and the red pill, your breath and your sensations. Still looking, don't let go. Try to focus. Hold on to your post for your mental refuge. Right, next, can everyone please fist your hands, both hands? I'd like you to thumb from above your knees, up and down, please. Thumb up and down. So taking the 3 pills now, because you've got your breath, your movements, and your physical sensations, right? You've got 3 pills, so focus on these 3 groups of scenery. Focus wholeheartedly with full 1,000,000% of concentration. Have full awareness toward them. By doing this is exactly how you can bring your mental self back home. How you can drive your mental car from A, boom, 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 to B, the ending of the boom, boom, boom. This is how you can take the medication to end your mental upheaval. Right, sit still, and then taking 2 pills, watching your breath and your physical sensations, the tingling. Fully focus, don't drift along with your thoughts. Always cut the cord. Be brave, be decisive. Still looking, don't drift along with your thoughts. Looking at the changing nature of your tingling sensations. If the tingling sensation disappear, don't forget that you still have also have the sensation on your bump, your bottom, your back, your clothing rubbing against your skin. Come home. Bring your mental self, your lost soul, safely home. Home to your breath, home to your movements, home to your physical sensations. Try to understand the meaning and then connect with the practice, because this will become a very important skill for you to obtain your mental security. It means that whenever, from now on, whenever you have any mental pain, any turmoil, any unsettlement for whatever reasons, from stress all the way to depression, breakdown, you would have this tool. You have this tool, this very important tool, to bail you out from your mental turmoil. That's why it is very important for you to learn this mental skill of vipassana or mindfulness meditation, which I call it bring your mental self back home. This skill can bail you out from your mental pain. So please try to pay attention and then try to understand the instruction I gave you and put into the precise practice. Right, one last time that we're going to move, okay? I'm going to ask you to massage your temple again. And then massage your earlobes. Smack onto your face, your arms, the other side of your arms, your stomach, and then your legs. Okay, right. And then once again, look wholeheartedly with full 1,000,000% of self-awareness toward the tingling sensations and your breath. Taking the 2 pills. Right. We have been putting in the cause, as in bring your mental self back home, taking the pill, driving the car. That is the causation that we have put in, right? Now, at this stage, we are going to look at the effects now. Look at the result. What has happened? Come to this stage. I would like everyone to use your mental eye and then look into your head area. And I'd like you to see that the traffic of your thoughts, have it slowed down. All the mind's chatter, the monologue, the talking in your head, have they slowed down? So please have a look. If the traffic of your thoughts have slowed down, you should be able to see the silence in your head. You should be able to see the gap in between the very last thought that have gone, just gone, and the next one that hasn't arrived. You should be able to see the gap between the two thoughts. And this gap, it is very much like the gap between the two cars. So therefore, you should see the empty road. So as in your head, you would see the silence. Please don't be confused with the terminology I use. I use the term see to correspond to the word I, mental I, your inner eye, your third eye. Bindi is your third eye. Okay, so that's why I use the term see. I don't use the term sense, just too confusing, so I stick with this. So please don't be confused. So look into your head again. Can you see the silence in your head? Can you also see the stillness in your chest area? The stillness. The silence in your head, the stillness in your heart. Can you see that? Altogether, you would feel quite light, as in opposite, having less weight. Feeling light, having less weight, or basically feeling good, feeling quite settled, quite grounded, rooted. If you see the silence in your head, the stillness in your heart, you feel good, feel light, as having less weight, or just basically feeling good, feeling good. I'd like you to know that this symptom of feelings, okay, are the indication of position B. So this is your inner peace, the calm, the tranquility, or basically the in control. You will feel that you're quite strong inwardly as well. You see, earlier, the first part of our practice, which is a good 25 minutes, that was the part that you put in the cost, as in taking the pill, driving the car, walking yourself back home. And at this stage, we would like to check whether we have arrived home, safely arrived home. Home is a safe place where no one can hurt you. We like to see whether the power of the pill have kicked in and give you the result of inner peace yet. We like to see whether you have been driving along this road, this path, as in watching your breath movement sensations. And now we like to see if you have reached position B, finding your inner peace. So please have a good look. If you can see the silence in your head, the stillness in your heart, you feel really at peace, you feel really tranquil, really calm, or just basically feeling so good, no weight, feeling good. The Buddha used a terminology as vimutti sukh. Sukh is happiness. The happiness as the result of the disappearance of our thoughts. Vimutti sukh. Or basically, it's your inner peace. All the boom, 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 all disappear. If you see this, I'd like you to know that this is the direct effect of the causation that you have put in. The direct result, the consequence of your taking the pill, driving the car, bringing your mental self back home. So this is the glimpse of the inner peace, the third noble truth that the Buddha have found out on the night of his enlightenment. And this inner peace, as for the Buddha, it has become long-lasting. It has become eternal for him. This inner peace is the long-lasting experience for all enlightened people, for all enlightened, fully enlightened individual. For them, the inner peace, the in control, is eternal, is long-lasting. But for us here, right now, is only a taste, an appetizer, a glimpse, just to give you the idea that this is what the third noble truth is all about. The opposite experience of suffering, boom, 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 from stress, worry, anxiety to depression, breakdown, and suicidal. Totally opposite is the inner peace, the calm. And this is the glimpse of the experience, the appetizer, that fortunately you have a chance to experience, to encounter as the first-hand experience. But before I assume that all of you have this experience, I'd like you to tell me whether at this very moment you are experiencing this glimpse of your inner peace or not. The terminology is so different. There's so many words. The calm, the peace, the silence, the stillness, tranquility, all these things. We don't talk about terminology. We don't talk about label, although we need to use them to communicate. But I'd like you to experience, to look at the actual experience. The actual experience, if you see it, is all the same. Just like salt having just one taste. salty. This third noble truth, the peace, the calm, have only one taste as well. Good. There is not adequate word to describe, to call it. But if you have experience of this third, this glimpse of peace and calm, all of you would experience the same thing. You taste this calming experience all the same. You know how I feel because I'm having it now, and I know exactly how you feel. Okay, we are using the inner language now. So, my question is that if you are experiencing this inner peace, the silence, the calm, the in control, the strength, this glimpse of third noble truth, I'd like you to tell me that yes, you have seen. Just say yes. Okay, when I ask you, and shout 1, 2, 3. So please have a look first. If only you have a glimpse of this gap, this silence, this stillness, even just 3 seconds, okay? Even just 3 seconds, last only 3 seconds, you are qualified to shout out, yes, I have seen it. Yes, I've seen it. 3 seconds and maybe another thought come in, but not too serious. And then it disappear, become that last thought. And then you see another gap. It may last about 3 to 4 seconds. And then another thought come in, not too serious. And disappear again, and another 3, 4, maybe up to 5 seconds of gap. If this is happening to you, you are qualified to tell me, say, yes, I have seen it. Just shortly, yes. Okay, so I hope you understand my question. I really need to know if you see this glimpse of the third noble truth, your inner peace, your calm, your stillness, your in control. Okay, right. 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Oh, okay, you're not quite ready. Now have a look again, be confident, as I tell you, if this moment, in your head, in your heart, the traffic of your thought have slowed down until you have seen the gap in between 2 thoughts. Even if it lasts only 3 seconds, you are qualified to shout yes when I ask you. I hope you understand clearly. Now have a look again. As soon as I shout 1, 2, 3, you shout back yes if you are seeing it. 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. So you have seen it. Maybe not everyone. Or maybe the reason that you don't shout back is because you are not quite clear. It might be still a bit cloudy in there, but it's okay. Don't worry too much. Don't worry too much, okay? Right, the next thing, please massage your temple once again. Massage your earlobes. Smack onto your face. Your arms. The other side of your arms. Your stomach. Your legs. Okay, right. Focus on the tingling sensations. Really focus hard, because by doing this, you can reduce the number of your mental monologues, your mental chatter. You can reduce the traffic of your thoughts. Write down. Focus. Try not to drift. Take a deep breath from time to time and focus on your breath, on your sensations wholeheartedly. Look at the changing nature of your tingling sensation. Follow it well. Right, and then look again, see whether the calm nature is still with you. If the calm nature is still with you, please let me know by saying yes, okay? At this very moment, just look at your experience right now inwardly, and then just read it out for me. I need to know. If the calm nature is still with you, please say yes. 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. The next thing, I'd like you to be able to see a bit in the wider scope. I'm going to ask you to smack again, okay? And then you're going to look at the, yeah. Okay, smack first. Smack your cheeks, and then your legs. Okay, that's it. So I'd like you to be able to see both nature, both end of the spectrum. The tingling sensation of the smacking, okay, on one end, and then the stillness on the other end. Can you see both of them clearly? The tingling sensation are within your physical body, whereas the stillness is within your mental self. Separate these two things apart. Can you see both nature clearly? The tingling with your physical body, the silence, stillness, the calm is within your mental self. Can you see both spectrum clearly? If you can see them clearly, please let me know by shouting yes. 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Okay, very good, thank you. This is something that you got to train yourself. And this part is very much training you to live in the eye of the storm. In the midst of the fierce tornado, the eye of the storm is completely still. Our society, everything, our events on a daily basis, our everyday life, everything that goes on around us is very much like a storm. Sometimes it could be a fierce storm. Problems here and there. So this is the art, the skill, that how you can survive, how you can stay yourself floating above the problem while you are surrounded by the storm. The answer is bring your mental self back home. Cultivate your skill of using your mental eyes to know your breath movements and sensations, always. Bring your mental self back home is a skill very much like driving, swimming, playing a piano, a guitar, learning to cook, riding a bicycle. These are all skill. Skill means that you don't need to be good at it. You start from scratch. You have no knowledge whatsoever how to play piano, how to drive, how to swim before, and then you come to learn. You come to learn this skill from scratch. And then you keep up with the practice. You keep up with the practice. You keep on training yourself. The more you do, the better you will get. And then it will reach the time that you will become a natural. If you've been driving for years, sitting behind the wheel will become your natural now. The coordination between your eyes, your arms, your hands, your legs, your ears, everything, you have the perfect natural coordination. You don't put in effort anymore. unlike the first driving lessons. These work exactly the same. Mindfulness meditation or vipassana is very much like driving a car. So today you are driving the first driving lesson with me. Of course it is a bit difficult, awkward. You find yourself drifting all the time. But please don't be put off. This is quite natural, it's quite okay. For the first driving lesson, you stole the car. But the key factor is that do not give up. Keep it up with the practice. Keep on training yourself. Find a time to train yourself to bring your mental self back home. Focus on your breath, your movements, your sensations on a daily basis. The more you do, the better you will get. Every skill has its bonus. If you can drive, of course, it is better than you cannot drive. If you can swim, it is better than those who cannot swim. You can cook better than those who can't cook. There is always the bonus for a skill. Bring your mental self back home of vipassana is a skill. The bonus of it is the peace, the calm, the tranquility, above all, the in control of your mind consciousness, the in control of all your problems that you are facing on a daily basis. The in control, it means that you don't burst out with anger. You don't feel that you got to have envy, jealous of people. You don't feel that you need to compete. You would have less and less worry, anxiety. You don't have fear. You would have full confidence. These are the bonus. The bonus is the peace, the calm, the steady of your emotion. You don't go up and down the emotional scale, which sometimes can be quite scary. So this is the bonus that you are gaining from having this skill of vipassana, mindfulness meditation, or bring your mental self back home, my analogy. So that's why it is so important, because this is a tool. A skill is a tool that you can take home. You can take it home today and then make a massive difference to your life. Whenever you're facing any challenge, it could be a crisis. We never know what's going to happen. We never know what is around the corner. We might collapse, okay? You never know. So that's why you need this mental skill. You need to be equipped with this mental skill so that you can face all challenges with full control. You won't collapse easily. So this is something that you've got to try to understand. And even though you find it difficult at this moment to practice, to focus on your breath movement and sensation, Please don't forget that this is a skill. You start from scratch. But the more you do, the more you keep up with the practice, the better you will get. Just like driving, playing a piano, cooking. So please bear this in mind and keep up with your practice. A few years gone by, provided that you keep up with this practice, you will find yourself that you are more emotionally steady, emotionally grounded, rooted. You will find yourself that you don't go up and down too much. You will become a more calmer person, a more in control, and know exactly what to do, how to deal with the situation, no matter how challenging it is. And to me, this kind of bonus is something that I don't want to do refuse. I would love to really engage in the practice and prepare myself for every eventuality, as we never know what is round the corner. Okay, so this is a matter of learning to live within the eye of the storm. To be able to emotionally, mentally survive without feeling drowned. So I hope that it is clear to you. And this is a glimpse of the third noble truth. This is a reminder. So imagine that this experience of calm, peace, has become your nature, become long-lasting, eternal. How wonderful life would be. So according to the Buddhist practice, we got all this role model of the fully enlightened people, which we call Arahan. These are the role model. The mental state is being able to live with the inner peace and calm eternally, long-lastingly, without any ups or downs, fully in control of their mind consciousness. It doesn't mean that they don't have any thoughts and feelings. No, that is the misconception. They still have thoughts. They still can create. They can do creative work, teaching people, writing books, doing all sorts of creative things to help people. They still use thoughts, but the thought don't bother them anymore. They use the thought as the object. Once they're finished, they can discard of the thought at will. This is something that street walkers cannot do. We are being bombarded by our unpleasant thought on a daily basis, unable to discard of them. And some of the thoughts are quite painful. We cannot discard our thoughts at will. So if you want to discard of your painful thoughts at will, whenever that you want to, of course we don't want to keep it long. The answer is practice your mindfulness meditation or vipassana, or bring your mental self back home. So through this practice, it will reach a point that it will become your natural, your nature. Only then will you be able to discard your unwanted thoughts at will. Your unwanted thoughts, feelings and emotion at will, all the painful one. Don't keep them long. Just discard them, cut the cord. So this is the bonus that you can expect of if you carry on, practice this skill. Right. Before we open the eyes, I'd like you to look at your inner peace once again and see whether it is still with you. So have a good look again. If it is with you, you can see your inner peace quite clearly. The experience is still there. Please let me know by shouting yes. 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Right, take a deep breath and then slowly open your eyes. Okay?